Hi everyone! Hi guys! How is everyone tonight? I hope you're all well. Okay. Well, I'll still let people join, but today I thought that I would do a little live session and just let you guys get to know me a little bit more. Initially, I was gonna try and make a YouTube video because I don't know if you guys remember, but I asked you guys to like send me questions, and I got a lot of questions. And I think I don't know, the YouTube thing didn't work out, so I was gonna make an IGTV. I actually filmed the video today, but I was just looking at the footage and I feel like I didn't really get across who I am in the video because I'm still trying to get used to talking to a camera, but I think I can speak better or like more true to myself when I'm on a live because I know that there are people watching me. So I just thought that I would do a live and then I'm gonna save this video to my IGTV so everyone can watch it. So the idea is you guys can go ahead and ask me any questions that you'd like to know. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by giving you guys a bit of background, maybe just about who I am. So my name is Sophie Louise Rogan. That's my full name. That's how you pronounce it, Louise. I know a lot of people pronounce it Lewis. It's not Lewis. I am, in fact, a woman. Yeah, so it's Sophie Louise Rogan. Sorry. And yeah, I'm 19 right now. My birthday is the 28th of February, 2002, and I was born in a really small town from northern England called Whitehaven. So yeah, I was born in the UK, but I only lived there for my first 3 years of my life. After that, I moved to Dubai. I lived in Dubai for 3 years. After Dubai, I mean, I can't really remember the exact order, but these are the places I've lived in. Dubai, Macau, Manila, Philippines, Doha, Qatar, Bali, Hong Kong. I feel like I'm forgetting somewhere, but yeah. Hi, Hong Kong. So yeah, those are the places I've lived. The reason why I have been raised abroad my whole life is due to my dad's work. So my dad works as a project manager in construction. Yeah, so he's worked on a lot of international projects. In Hong Kong, he was doing, I believe, Hong Kong International Airport. And in Macau, he was working at the Wynn Palace, which is a casino there. So yeah. Also another question, maybe I'll just address this now too, that I got when I was trying to film the IGTV before was about veganism. Just kind of everything about veganism to do with me, how I went vegan, why, how long I've been vegan, and how I've been able to maintain this lifestyle. So I went vegan when I was around 14 or 15. I can't really remember the exact age, but it's been around 5 years now. And I initially went vegan because I had watched some documentaries and they talked about just like it was mostly about animals, like compassion for animals, like the slaughter of animals in the dairy industry and the meat industry. And, you know, as a 14 or 15-year-old watching that, I was like very easily influenced, you know, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I believe that like children are like, they do show the most compassion. So I think that says a lot, that me as a child, I was able to make this change overnight, just based off of the fact that I didn't want to be a consumer to these industries and fund the inhumane slaughter of animals. So yeah. And for me, one of the things that like kind of keeps me going with it, like I always think back to that, but also I don't know if you guys have heard of the term like speciesism, but it's the idea that like a dog and a cow, for instance, like we associate them with different things. So like when we look at a dog, we see a companion, but when we see a cow, we see like an animal in the agriculture industry, an animal that's bred, you know, for food. So yeah, and I didn't really I didn't want to see the difference, if you know what I mean. I don't want to see the difference, because I really do believe in peace, and I know a lot of people will agree with me there. Like, I hate the idea of discrimination against, I don't know, against what gender you identify with, your sexuality, your race, your economic, I don't know, just like your economic income, or your species, you know? So, yeah. So I believe that, you know, by being vegan, even though I'm not, you know, I know a lot of people say, you know, one person being vegan doesn't change the world, but for me, being vegan changes my world, and that's enough for me, because if my world around me and my environment, I'm the one who controls my environment, right, in my life, and with that control, I choose not to be involved in violence. So that's why I'm vegan. I hope that made sense, but yeah, so that was one of the questions that I got a lot. Another one that I got a lot was, do I speak Bahasa? Now, let's just get this out of the way, please, okay? Guys, aku bisa berbicara bahasa Indonesia, okay? Tapi, I am just a lot more confident speaking English. And I don't mean to offend anyone by speaking English, you know? This is not what I'm doing at all. But, you know, I have been raised abroad my whole life. I don't really identify with one nationality to 100%, you know? Even by blood, 100%, like, I'm not related to one specific nationality, and I think that's amazing, and it should be embraced. Yeah, and, you know, living abroad, the universal language is English. No matter where I have lived, there's never been an issue with me speaking English. And most of the people also speak English because that's the universal language. So, yeah, I'm sorry if that offends you. That's not what I intend on doing at all. I'm just trying to be my most authentic self, and, you know, just speaking factually too, the Bahasa language doesn't have the same words that you would use in English, so I'm a lot more articulate in English, you know, and sometimes I literally can't say what I want to say in Bahasa because the words just don't exist, you know what I mean? But yeah, thank you for the people that are translating it, for those who can't speak English. I'm really sorry, you know, if the fact that I speak English, you know, I know a lot of you just want me to speak Bahasa because he just want to understand me, and I totally get that. I've totally been in that position too, you know. I've lived abroad my whole life, being immersed in different cultures, and every place that I've lived, I have made an effort to try and learn the language. I've been more successful in some places than others, so yeah. And I also want to point out, just while we're on the topic of like speaking Bahasa and stuff, you know, I'm competing, guys, in an international pageant. And in an international pageant, we're going to be speaking English. And I really do take pride in my English, you know. Even though it's my mother tongue, I spent a lot of time studying the language, guys. You know, I went to a lot of international schools, but I graduated with an international baccalaureate diploma, which is quite a rigorous diploma to undergo. But yeah, and I took higher level English language and literature for 2 years. So it's like university level English. And yeah, I've studied so many like classic authors' work. Yeah, just so many different types. Like I've studied bias in the news, like just so many different things, you know, to do with the language. So even though it is my mother tongue, I don't want it to come across at all like I think that I am, I don't know, like I think that I'm better because it's my mother tongue. I don't feel that way at all. You know, I studied really hard to be able to speak English the way I do. And so I hope that you guys can understand that and respect that. But yeah. Okay, that was a lot of talking. How many languages do you speak? I speak English as my native language. I speak Bahasa like quite a bit. I used to be fluent in Bahasa when I lived in Batam. I lived in Batam for 1 year, and the school there, everyone there spoke Bahasa, so I was just kind of thrown into it. And so you can imagine, I was around 9, I think. You can imagine a little girl, you know, thrown into this school, everyone speaking a language that I was not used to. So I really picked up on it quite quick. Yeah, and I was fluent. But since then, you know, I can still speak Bahasa, but after Batam, I moved to a lot of other places, and I wasn't speaking Bahasa as much. So some of that has been lost a little bit, but that's okay because, you know, I'm back in Jakarta, and I make an effort every day to improve in my Bahasa, you know? So yeah. What was I saying? This is why it was so hard for me to film the video before, because I just get so lost talking to myself because my mind is just with all these, I don't know. Anyways, it was what languages do I speak? Yeah, so I speak English, Bahasa, and I speak French a little bit. I hope there's no French people watching because my French, it's okay, but it's not there, you know what I mean? But yeah, but I really love French. I feel really motivated to learn it. It's just sometimes I don't have the time, but I took it as a standard level in my high school too. Since I was around, I'd say 12, I've been studying French. Yeah, but I always it's so hard for me because the hardest thing for me is I get all the masculine and feminine stuff mixed up because there's no trick to it, you know, it's just masculine or feminine and you just learn as you go. So that's the only tough thing for me, but yeah. Okay, so if any of you guys have questions, you can go ahead and ask. I'm kind of new to this IG live thing too. So yeah. Ooh, how do I do this? Oh, okay. I don't know if you guys can see the question now, but it's there. It says, will your little sister follow your footsteps as a supermodel or a beauty queen? I don't know. It's up to her. I don't want to push her to do anything she doesn't want to do. And I want to encourage her to do whatever she feels drawn to. I think that she has kind of seen how my life has been. You know, before a beauty queen, I was a model, so she was there for that, and now she's also here for the beauty queen stuff. And I don't know if she thinks it strikes her as something she'd want to do. Personally, I think my sister is she's a very determined person, and she like knows herself very well considering she's 13. So I don't know if she would be able to be a beauty queen, not because she's like incompetent to be one, but just because she has a really strong mind. But then again, that could be really good to bring to a pageant, so you never know. Okay, I think yep. Ooh, this is a good question. What is the book that you love the most and why? Give me a second, I'm gonna grab it. Okay. So, recently, I mean, I was never really into reading, but recently, you know, living with Bella, without my family and stuff, I've developed new hobbies. I picked up this book by Stephen Hawking. It's called Brief Answers to the Big Questions, and it's so good. I mean, I haven't finished it yet. I'm like halfway through it, but it's so amazing. Like, I think I consider myself quite a curious person. I think my parents raised me that way. They taught me to question the norms, and also like my academic curriculums also taught me that. But yeah, so this book is amazing for me. Yeah, so I'll read the back for you. It talks about questions, like each chapter it's about a different question, but yeah, it talks about how did it all begin? Is there other intelligent life in the universe? Can we predict the future? What is inside a black hole? Is time travel possible? Will we survive on Earth? Should we colonize space? Will AI outsmart us? And how do we shape the future? So yeah, to me that sounds really interesting, but I know to a lot of people that sounds super boring. But I think this is great, and it's not too long either, so I think it's a great book, like if you're looking for a book, like a new book to read. What's your favorite movie genre? I think my favorite movie genre is probably like psychological thrillers. What's a good example? Like Black Mirror. I love Black Mirror. Like, it's like a show, but each episode's like a movie. But when that show came out, yeah, like it really shook me, because I've always like thought in a very similar way, if that makes sense, you know. I've always like been curious like that and had questions like the episodes like portray. So yeah, I really love Black Mirror. Anything that kind of just makes me think, I really like. At the moment, I'm watching The 100. You guys need to get on this. The first season, I'll admit, it's kind of hard to get into. I've tried to get into it a few times in the past, but yeah, I like properly set my mind to it recently, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch this, because I need to know what all the hype is about. So yeah, I've watched it. I'm now on the last season, and it's amazing. Like, to me, the best part is like it really shows like kind of like the origins of politics, the economy, society, how a society develops out of nothing. Yeah, it really makes you think about things like war, conflict. It's really, really good. So yeah, I think you guys should watch that. So yeah. Okay, I'm just looking through the questions. Sweet or salty? Definitely salty. I'm a savory girl. I like my savory foods. Oh, when I was a kid, my dream job, I mean, at one point I wanted to be a marine biologist. I don't know. I feel like every girl goes through that phase. But I think since I was a kid and even up until now, I've always dreamt to release my own music or like even an album. I don't know, like I'm putting it out into the universe. You never know. But yeah, like just I've always looked up to musicians. And you know, I love, as I said earlier, I love English, I love writing, I love speaking. I think language is so powerful. Yeah, it's just so fascinating to me that you can like make someone feel so much emotion with words, and you know, when it's accompanied by beautiful instruments and just music, I think it's like one of the most amazing things in the world. I really think music like brings people together, and that is totally what I stand for. So yeah, I would have loved to be a musician. I still do. So let the universe do its thing. If it's meant to be, it will be. So yeah. Okay. This is a good question. What made me join pageantry? So I think in the beginning I had a really distorted view of what pageants are. Honestly, I'll be honest, I thought they were a waste of time. I thought they were like really fake. But now that I am a part of this world, don't get me wrong, all of that stuff still exists. But for me, it's different. You know, for me, I'm like, you know, this provides me with a platform and I can change the norms of a beauty pageant. And I can show that you don't need to meet these really unrealistic beauty standards, whether it be physically or what's in here. You don't need to be a certain way to be a beauty queen, you know? I think it's really powerful once someone can truly love themselves and truly embrace themselves, because it shows, and that's what a beauty queen is. And you know, when someone is content with who they are and they're proud of who they are, they will make real change, I believe. And you know, I'm so blessed to be able to say that I really do love myself, you know, not to be narcissistic at all, not in that type of way, but like, I'm just really proud of who I am. I've been challenged, just like all of you sometimes, with situations where my morality is tested, my beliefs are tested, and I'm really, really proud that I can say that, you know, a lot of these times, I was able to stay true to myself. I was able to encourage myself, push myself to keep going and see that light at the end of the tunnel. And yeah, and now I just feel like, you know, I'm blessed with this platform, and I just really hope that I can make someone else feel as inspired that I once felt, or I can help someone, you know, love themselves, help someone out of a time where they feel really insecure. Because I just truly believe, you know, when you are truly proud of who you are, and you're just really content with your personality and your actions, and they match, I think it's so powerful. So yeah, that's why I joined pageantry, because I believe, you know, I am proud of myself, and I believe because of that, I owe it to other young girls who were like me, and other people, anyone. I owe it to them to show that there is always hope, and, you know, you will do great things in this world. Because, you know, there was a time where if you were to tell me a few years ago I would have been representing Indonesia on an international scale, in a beauty pageant, I would have said you were out of your mind. But, you know, here I am, and it just shows that life has so much in store for you, and you wouldn't even know, like, the half of it. So yeah. Okay, next question. Okay. Advice for people who want to start a vegan diet. Ooh, someone's moving chairs. Yeah, so I believe you have to find your why. For some people, like me, it will just all click. Like, it will just make sense. For me, I couldn't imagine not being vegan, you know? Yeah, it just works for me, and I'm so happy about that. But some people, you know, it's a process, and you don't need to put pressure on yourself at all. I know that some vegans do come across with a lot of pressure, but it's the same the other way around, you know? A lot of people who do eat meat and dairy and blah, 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 they put a lot of pressure on vegans too, to always prove your point and justify why we live like this or whatever. But I don't really think we need to justify anything, you know? I think the strong people will decide, you know what, I'm gonna question this. Why have I been brought up to think that eating meat is normal? Drinking milk is normal? Because, you know, the milk comes from a cow, and cows only produce milk for their calves, right? Just like us as women, we would produce breast milk for our children. So why do we get to take that from the calf and its mother? You know, there's questions like this, and it can get quite philosophical, but I'd say just don't put too much pressure on yourself. Take it as you go, but find your why, because I think once you find a really strong reason that you believe in it, it's just gonna be a breeze to be vegan. Yeah. So, and I think like the three main reasons would probably be like compassion for animals, health reasons. I know like a lot of athletes that are vegan. Actually, there's a really good documentary about this. But yeah, sorry, my phone is, okay, it's back. But yeah, there's a really good documentary, I forget. The Game Changers, I think it's called. It's on Netflix. But yeah, if you're an athlete, you're interested in how your diet can play a part into your recovery time and things like that, because, you know, one of the most important things about being an athlete is being able to recover fast. So yeah, you should totally watch that. And then the third, like, probably main reason to be vegan, I would say, is the environment. And that is another thing. I think that's probably, I'm like here and here with animals and environment, because I went vegan for animals, but now I've learned a lot about the environment. I've learned a lot about how a vegan lifestyle can have a positive contribution in saving our planet. So if you guys are interested in this, you should totally just take it up yourself in your free time, you know, have a little search, watch some videos. There's plenty of stuff that you can educate yourselves with. Yeah. These are great questions. I'm just reading the questions, so sorry if I'm just like staring blankly into the screen. What type of music do I like? Okay, so I mean, I think it's pretty common knowledge now because it's all I talk about, but yeah, I love classic rock music. I love Aerosmith, Scorpions, Guns N' Roses, Velvet Revolver. Yeah, I'm getting into my Pink Floyd moment. Pink Floyd's like, it's interesting music to understand, but like, I think once you get into it, it's like really good. Rock and roll. Haha, yeah, that's right. Yeah. But I also really love, like, my favorite music for a long time was like I'd say like psychedelic rock, reggae type beat, like Ocean Alley. I don't know if you guys know, but like Ocean Alley, Stick Fingers, I think they'll be like all-time favorites. The music is just so good. Like, you can hear all the instruments, like it's like proper music, you know what I mean? Like, if you were in an arena, you'd feel it like in your heart. I like that music. Okay. If there's a chance, okay, I think it's like, if I had the choice, would I choose to be smart or beautiful? I know that it probably sounds really stereotypical, but obviously I choose to be smart because, bottom line, beauty fades, and you don't need beauty to be successful. You know, I know that there are people that have totally built a career off of being beautiful, and, you know, a lot of them are beautiful people too, but it's not all that. It's not all about that, and it's what's on the inside that really matters, because at the end of the day, I believe, you know, this is one of the reasons why I'm doing all this pageant stuff. I believe that we have this one life, and the best contribution we can make to society is to make change, positive change, grow together, make steps towards uniting everyone, bringing more peace. You know, I know that's like a lot to ask for, and like the idea of having a totally peaceful world is really really, like, I don't know, it seems unachievable, right? But I think with little steps, you know, as long as your personal life and your environment is peaceful, and you are making efforts to be peaceful and kind. That's what matters. And yeah, but for me, it goes beyond that. For me, I want to make change. You know, I've realized that now. I believe that to some degree, I feel like, you know, I am in some way like destined to do something bigger than me. Yeah, I just believe that there's so much that we need to work on, and everything that we have improved in our society, in history, it always started with one person. And you could be that person if you set your mind to it, you know? Yeah. Thanks, Brooklyn. So yeah, I tried to make this video before, but I just kept rambling, and so I'm glad. I feel like I'm getting across to you guys who I really am, because it really matters to me, you know? Even though I have been crowned Miss Grand Indonesia, I feel like a lot of my followers have a distorted perception of who I am. Honestly, I'm quite a simple person. I really have value for the little things in life. Yeah, being glamorous all the time is not always my favorite thing. But don't get me wrong, I love to be glammed up and stuff. But yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm scared this is gonna be such a long IGTV, but whatever, at least I'm getting my point across. Has anyone got any other questions? I'm just looking through them. You guys are so sweet. Thank you so much for all the kind words. Okay, let's lighten it up. Udon or salad? Oh my god, udon all the way. Udon noodles? I love udon noodles. Wow, this is such a good question. What does going home mean to you? Wow. Okay, well, you know, most of the people watching this live, I'm gonna assume, are Indonesian, have lived in Indonesia most of their life. But that's not the case for me, you know. I am totally an international woman. I'm a citizen of the world, if you will, you know. So going home, I think to me now just refers to people. I consider like my family my home, my friends are my home. I feel at home when I'm with people that I'm really comfortable with. So I don't think it matters where I am in the world, as long as I have someone that understands me, I understand them, and yeah, they're just family. You guys are giving me bomb questions right now. Sorry, I just paused the live, I think. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, let's talk about bullying. Okay, I'm gonna be vulnerable with you guys now, because that is so important to me. But when I was, before I moved to Bali, I did experience a time where a lot of things happened in my life. There was a lot of change going on, and okay, recenter myself. A lot of things were going on, and I went through a lot, I think. Well, it was probably nothing compared to, I mean, there are so many more important things going on in the world, but like, I don't know, for me, it consumed me. There was a situation where, yeah, there were girls and guys taking a stance against me, and I felt very alone for months. I felt I don't want to cry, but like, I'm totally fine now. Just get that across. But yeah, this is important to share because I know that there are other girls out there who are probably dealing with similar things. Gosh. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so yeah, I went through this time in my life, and I was really confused. You know, I asked myself a lot, like, why is all of this happening to me? I felt like I was being challenged in all aspects of my life. Bear in mind, I was only 16. But, you know, I feel like I think much more maturely than I do for my age, you know? So yeah, I was just consumed with what was happening in my life. I was overthinking so much. I faced bullying in my school. This is my moment. I'm taking back the power. But yeah, I was bullied a lot. I'd say for like around 7 months. And I was quite depressed. Yeah. And it was really hard for me. And yeah, there were days that it was just so hard for me, you know, like I had never experienced like that type of sadness where it wasn't even sadness, it just was like I felt very empty. And I just remember trying to describe it how I felt to a therapist or to my family, and I would just always say like I feel so empty, like yeah. And but you know, thankfully I got through that, and I'm so proud of myself, and I feel really grateful. Really grateful to my family for guiding me, sticking with me through all that time, even when, you know, it took a toll on my family too, my mental health. Yeah, but I got through that, and I think it made me stronger. I wouldn't trade it anymore. I wouldn't trade that experience for anything, because it taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about the world. I think it made me a better person. I think it made me more empathetic. You know, people are trying to pull me down, and I would ask myself, like, why are they trying to pull me down? What are they facing in their lives? And that's how I would see it. So yeah, like the other day I posted on my story, you know, everyone is going through their own battles in life, and we have to be respectful of that, and we have to realize, you know, I think we all have a common goal. We all strive for happiness. We all strive for love, and it's time we start realizing it, you know? There's so much unnecessary conflict. Yeah. That was a lot of talking. But yeah, that's the first time that I've Well, I don't want to go into detail with it for you guys because, yeah, there's just a lot, but just know that I felt that too, you know? I felt that too, and I'm so sorry. You guys are so nice. This feels so nice to take back the power from that experience. But yeah, I'm totally fine. I'm really grateful for all of you. But yeah, basically I just want to say that it always gets better. And I am living evidence for that, you know? Okay, I think that's enough of that question. Yeah. I really wanted to talk about that actually, but it's always been hard for me to talk about that, especially to other people, especially to a lot of people at once. But it's needed, you know? We need to be vulnerable, and we need to share our stories and experiences because it makes us stronger together, and we can learn from each other and be better individuals at the end of the day. Sorry, I just paused it again, but I did not expect to cry on this live. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, let's just go off of this then, since we're talking about mental health now. Yes, so I never used to get anxious before. It actually started when I was living in Hong Kong last year. I lived in Hong Kong for like 8 months, and because of COVID, that's when it all kicked off. And yeah, I dealt with, thank you, Kat Ivan. I dealt with a lot of anxiety when I was there, which was so new to me because it felt like it just came out of nowhere, you know? You're not born with these things. They just really develop as you grow. But yeah, I had my first panic attack when I was in Hong Kong, and it was terrible. It was when I was trying to go to sleep, and then I took a gasp for air. I was like that. And I know this sounds silly because I tell my friends this and they just laugh, but I forgot how to breathe. I felt like I forgot how to breathe. I felt like I couldn't feel the air going into my lungs, and I freaked out, and I was shaking, and I was trembling, I was crying. I had no idea what was going on, and I thought I was having a heart attack. And then I screamed, and my dad came running into the room, and I think he knew what was going on because I think he's dealt with it himself. But yeah, he took me outside, sat me down, and we just talked. I talked about how I was feeling, how all that anxiety felt, and it felt so good, you know, to just let it all out. So I encourage you guys to share your emotions with other people. Let yourself feel your emotions, because that is the art of healing. But yeah, I sat there for 2 hours, and I was too scared to go back to sleep. I was too scared, but I did it, you know. And then yeah, then the next day I remember I became convinced that I had a health problem. I was convinced that I had like low blood pressure, that I was anemic. I was like making excuses. I was like, oh my gosh, like it's because of the fact that I'm vegan. I'm not getting this and this, and now I'm having anxiety. And I went to a doctor, even though I have dealt with some of those things before. I went to a doctor and I was okay. You know, everything was fine, and it was all in here. And yeah, that just taught me that your mind is so powerful. You can trick yourself. You can trick yourself into feeling emotions that you don't even know why you're sad. You don't even know why you're panicking, but it surfaces. And for me, it's been challenging to learn how to deal with that. But everyone finds their way. I'm really, really happy that I can say I haven't had a panic attack since I've been in Bali. So, you know, at least a month. So that feels really nice. It feels really freeing. If any of you guys deal with anxiety, you know, like, how much of an achievement that can be. But yeah, it feels very liberating to be able to go to sleep. To be able to go to sleep and sleep the whole night through and then wake up without anxiety. Like, yeah, I don't really see anxiety as a bad thing, because anxiety taught me to appreciate every single part of your life, from going to sleep, you know, from being in a crowded room, like, enjoy the diversity in the room, like, you know, I don't know, there's a lot of things. Yeah. And if any of you guys are dealing with anxiety, just know that there are ways to cope, and you are not alone at all. And I feel it too, even though I'm this, you know, Miss Grand Indonesia. That title, you know, at the end of the day doesn't mean anything. I feel these emotions too, and I know that you guys can get through it. Yeah. This is a great chat. I feel like I'm really getting across who I am, so I feel really good about this. This is what I needed. Okay, let's carry on with questions. Wow. Any other questions? Sorry, I'm like just staring blankly at the screen because I'm like scrolling through these. Nah. Can I speak Javanese? Unfortunately not. I would love to be able to speak Javanese. Every time someone asks me that, I just say Oraisa. Yeah. What do I value most in life? Hi, Lachlan. What do I value most in life? Hang on, let me just check in. Hi, Mom and Dad, sneakily watching my live. A few friends are watching my live. Anyways, next question. What do you value most in life? I value time. I think time is the most valuable thing in life, because time is something you can never get back. And I have just recently reached this kind of epiphany that I value time so much. Because I was talking about it with my dad. Hi, Dad. I was talking about it with my dad, and my dad's in his 50s, and he said, you know, time is so valuable because you can never get it back. And then he said, you know, maybe you'll understand that one day. But the truth is, I totally understand it. Because I can put myself into the shoes of an elder person, and to think that someone could feel like they waste so much of their life, or they regret how they spent their time, that scares me, and I would never want to end up in that position. So yeah, now I definitely value time so much. How I spend my time, I want to spend it with the people I love. I want to give back as much as I can give back. I want to make positive change if I can. You know, I feel like I'm in a position now where that is somewhat possible. You know, I can actually make a difference. Yeah, so I'm still working on it. You know, I'm still trying to get things sorted, trying to impact some people's lives, but it's a process, so bear with me, guys. But yeah. Okay, I think I'll probably only do a couple more questions because I feel like this is going to be quite a long IGTV for people to watch later. Okay, but yeah, let's do two more. Okay, what is your biggest fear in life and how do you overcome it? I think my biggest fear, well, I know my biggest fear is death, and the reason why my biggest fear is death is because I can be scared of the unknown. Because I'm so curious, I question everything. I send myself down a spiral of different conspiracies. But yeah, like death, it fascinates me, but scares me. But the fact that it scares me also, like, I also love it for that, because I like to be challenged to think about these things. I like to, I like to go outside of my comfort zone with the way I think. Yeah. You guys are great. Someone said, trust the process. Yes. Totally trust the process. Okay, last question. Let me find a good one. Okay, let's do this one. How to avoid insecurity. I'll be honest. Everyone is insecure about something. Everyone. I am insecure about things. Yeah. And I think you just have to find it. It takes time, first of all, but you need to work towards being the person you want to be. And once you are someone that you love, I think all of that insecurity and comparing yourself to other people, it will still be there to some degree, but for the most part it vanishes, because when you do have moments like, oh, I wish I looked like that girl, or I wish I looked like that guy, or whatever, I wish I was successful as this person. When you have these moments, you can come back, recenter, and say, actually, like, look at who I am. Like, look what I'm doing, you know? Even if it's just simple things, like in your day to day, you know, for example, like, you know, I'm proud of myself, you know, I make an effort to do an act of kindness every day, a random act of kindness every day, you know, like, you'll start to fall in love with yourself, and it's the best feeling to feel like, wow, like, I'm so happy I did that. Like, for me, the other day, I traveled to Magelang for like a meet and greet with Yete Gold and Mustika Gold, and you know, very spontaneously, I saw that there was an orphanage nearby. I asked Kak Ivan if we could go there, because since I've been reigned, I haven't been taking part in any social services or anything like that, and that is such a big part. I want to make that such a big part of my reign, because that's who I am, you know. So I asked Kak Ivan, can I run into this orphanage, and, you know, I just want to meet the kids? And he was like, yeah, go ahead. I went there, and it was a little bit emotional for me, but, I mean, I'm a very emotional person. I think we all know that by now, but yeah, I felt great. I was so happy to meet everyone there. I was so happy to see that they were happy, but also I questioned, like, oh, how did I end up being Miss Grand, you know? Why have I been given this life, blessed with this life? And it's totally because, hi princess, it's totally, you know, I believe now, because I have a duty to share this with the public and with all my followers, that this is what life is about. And yeah, like, I truly believe, I truly believe that we can work towards peace. And yeah, I felt really great about visiting the orphanage. Everyone there was amazing. The boys, it was a all boys orphanage. The boys were great. Yeah, they're all like learning English too, so it was like kind of funny. Yeah, and Kak Ivan like donated money, which was amazing. I wish I could have, you know, I wish I could have given them everything, you know. I wish I could have helped them, I don't know, do everything they want to do, but this is my role in society. I have this platform, and this is how I'm gonna help them. This is how I'm gonna help people like them. I share my experiences with you guys, and hopefully I can inspire some of you to do something good in your life, to do something good every day, to think about other people, because at the end of the day, what really matters is that we leave a positive mark on the world. And yeah. Okay, so I think that is gonna be the end, because yeah, I think I'm just rambling a lot now. Princess, I saw your Cruella photo shoot, and OMG, I'm obsessed, looking forward to meet you in the future. Aww, thank you, that's so sweet. Yes, I can't wait to meet you. We should totally like arrange a lunch or something. But yeah, guys, I had so much fun doing this live. I know that a lot of you wanted me to do more lives and stuff, but I really needed this too. I really need to share with you guys who I am. I want you guys to know who I am, what I believe, and yeah, I think I owe it to you guys, you know, if you're gonna follow me, that you know who I am. But yeah. Wasn't this such a good live? Oh my god. Everything's so positive. I feel great. I hope you guys all feel great. I hope some of you feel inspired. But yeah. That's amazing. I feel great now. Okay, so I'm gonna leave now. I'm probably gonna go have a late night snack. And watch the 100. Remember, guys, get on that. But yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night and work towards a greater goal, work towards happiness, and I challenge you to do a random act of kindness every day. Thank you guys so much for watching my live. I'm gonna figure out how to save this now, but thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.